Hey, Tim Ryan here with the Man Recovery Foundation. Just got in from Arkansas. Want to let you know, Rockers in Recovery is having a big event November 11th at the 101 Club in Pompano Beach, Florida. Going to have a ton of music, fellowship. I have the opportunity to come down. I get to speak, share a little bit of hope. Really excited about this event. So if you are in the Florida area, Palm Beach down to Miami, Lake Worth, whatever, head to the 101 Club. Starts at 2 in the afternoon, $10 entrance fee. Come on in, share some fellowship. Again, I will be speaking there. Really honored to be able to come in and be a part of this. If you want to follow me, you can check us out on Facebook, From Dope to Hope, or check out our foundation, www.amirf.org, or for my full-time career, I'm a National Outreach Director for Transformations Treatment Center out of Delray Beach. We will also be a sponsor for this event. Look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.
Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
Hey guys, John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery, education, information. We do it through music, news, events, festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community. You can go to rockersinrecovery.com and find out all kinds of information. You can also listen to the live radio streamer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's right on the right-hand side. Right underneath of that, you can download the flyer for Sobriety Rocks 2017, what Tim was just talking about. And all of the information is there, and the sponsors, and, of course, who's going to be playing, and the whole 9 yards. We got Peter Keys from Leonard Skinner coming in. He's going to be doing a set and hanging out with the RIR All-Star Band. We also have, of course, The Groove, Crush, Wilkoff Project, Promises Band, Neon, and Paul Wilson and Friends. They're all going to be playing that day. It is, of course, at the 101 Club, November 11th. Come on out and hang out with us. Also, check out the blogs here at rockersinrecovery.com. And always check us out on, of course, our Facebook page, which is at Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. Tonight we have our friend Tim Ryan who's going to be on the air with us. Tim is a great, great guy. Been watching him for a while now, and all he does is give back. Amazing gentleman. He goes across the country helping many individuals, and a very great guy at being able to help all individuals. It doesn't matter if you have money or you do have money. This is a guy that bends over backwards to help people get the help they need for their addiction issues. He's saving lives and kicking butt while doing it. Gotta love Tim, and let's bring him on the line. Tim, thank you for being on the show, and God bless all the work you're doing.
What's up, brother? How are you, John?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm actually home for 2 days, so that's a good thing. It's I have been, it's hard to even think straight. I was in North Carolina doing some schools and a big event there. Then I flew to Arkansas, did 6 centers there, home for 2 days. Then I was in Delray. Then I was in Orlando. Then I went to Georgia, and I just got back from Galveston Island, Texas, for the big Texas rally, man. I'm telling you, Texas has got recovery going on. It's, it was an amazing event.
Beautiful thing, man.
So
I was just saying, go through, you do a lot of work, man.
I'm trying to. I'm blessed that, if you had asked me 4 years ago today, I was sitting in the Illinois Department of Corrections, what I'd be doing now, not in a million years that I think God would open all these doors, and I walk through them. But it's a lot of work. I love what I do. This was my calling. But, when I'm out sharing and doing this, I'm reopening the wounds of my past and the death of my son, but it just fuels me to push forward and help more people. I mean, after popping all over these places in the country, it just shows me, John, man, things aren't getting any better. They're getting worse. And, I'm just trying to be one guy out there, part of the solution, as you are and everybody else is.
You have a few different variations. You have From Dope to Hope, which is your book and a lot of things that you're doing. You also have a Man in Recovery Foundation, which helps a lot of different people. And let's start with the book. How many people, I'm sure, have read the book, but what does the book entail? Can you give us a little bit of background on it, where they can find it?
So the book, it's called From Dope to Hope, A Man in Recovery by Tim Ryan. It's on Amazon right now. Of course, I take them to all my events, and I usually want to sell them, but I usually just give them away because it's my life story. It's raw. It's real. It goes through the loss of my son dying on my 21-month sobriety date from an overdose to basically 8, 9, 10 months ago. And it's a lot of hope. And in this book, I can't tell you how many parents have read this and said, now I know why my child does what they do, or my husband or my wife. But then for the people that are either in jail or in treatment or even in recovery, if I can turn my life around, anybody can turn my life around. And that's why I wrote the book. And we could have went with the publisher, but it would have taken another year to release, and we just wanted to self-publish, get it out, but it's getting passed around a lot of treatment centers, a lot of jails, a lot of county jails, a lot of prisons, and every month I'm ordering 1,000 or 2 more, and I'm burning through those just out of the back of my truck going to events. I cannot keep them in stock.
It's a powerful message, especially if it's, going into the prison system and the jail system and the treatment centers. People get to know, like you just said, there is hope. You can recover. You can move on with a life and be in recovery and have a good life.
Man, John, that's the thing. I've had a lot of things happen in recovery, the worst being my own son passing away from an overdose. And I'll be the first one to say I helped kill my own son. Nick followed in my footsteps, and I turned my life around and did everything I could to try to help him with his mother. And unfortunately, he succumbed to an overdose. And my fiance, who I'm marrying on Friday, struggled with, we thought it was postpartum depression after our daughter was born, and 2 suicide attempts, and here it was undiagnosed bipolar. And I've had a lot of good things happen too. The birth of our daughter. I have a wonderful 2-year-old daughter, Mackenzie. Kirsten and I are getting married. I have this life to where I work for a treatment center. I run the foundation. I speak all over the country, and I am truly blessed beyond my wildest dreams. But, where was I last night at 7 o'clock at a 12-step meeting? I still got to keep my recovery first and foremost, and a lot of people get that out of whack. I just put up my little, I don't want to call them FU videos, but I just get frustrated, and in the past year, I know 12 people that were Facebook advocates and this, and they're all getting high. And, I try to instill that even with what I do, my speaking, working for transformations, running my foundation, that's my career. My recovery is outside of that. And I try to keep people that, I see a lot of people get into this, and yes, some people relapse, but a lot of people get into this and they've never even been in recovery,
Yeah,
So,
it's scary.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, something. One of the things that I want to touch on, and it's really important that people understand that, hey, listen, you got to feed your family, and you have to do things to be able to, help other people at a base. And your base really is the National Outreach Director at Transformations Treatment Center. And you're able to help a lot of people through that organization. And I know they place people all over the country, and you place people all over the country with or without resources. So it's a really kind of a cool thing. Can you tell us a little bit about Transformations Treatment Center?
Yeah, when I had been at one place for over 2 years, another place for 6 months, and Transformations recruited me hard. They sicked a headhunter on me, and I used to be a recruiter. I was a recruiter in the technology space for 20-some years. So I talked, but when Mark, the owner, came up and met me on Father's Day, and I told the guy, I said, look, I do a walk-in meeting. I'm done at 8:45. I'll be at the Starbucks. He came and met me for 2 hours, and I loved him, but when I got down there and I saw the facility and their clinical team and true trauma therapists and EMDR and all this, I said, I want to be a part of this. And Transformations, they've been around 10 years, and, they've got an 18 to 30 program, a 30 and up, a first responders, a veteran, a Christian-based program, a 12-step-based program, all the other ancillary add-ons, but what really makes it is the clinical team and the staff. And, I put my own sister through the program, and I was with my 19-year-old son the other day, and he said, Tim, I have not seen Aunt Katie so happy in 19 years. I said, that's because she's sober, and she's living recovery now. And if I'm willing to put my own sister into this program, I believe in it more than anything in the world. And I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I'm traveling the country and doing what I do and branding Transformations, but they really let me do what I want. I'm kind of an enigma to where I don't go out, I don't market, I don't go to other treatment centers and market in doctors' offices. I do what I do, and my phone rings. But as you said, 97% of the calls I receive are people with no insurance or state insurance, and that's where Man in Recovery Foundation comes in. We guide and direct people with no insurance or state insurance into the right facilities, and if they are a fit for Transformations, then I'll refer them in. But if they're not, I'm sending them elsewhere. We partner with other places, and I was just talking with somebody else about this today. I think what's wrong with treatment is too many places take people just to take them, and I will not do that. If you are not a fit for our program, or you're really borderline or whatever, I'm going to refer you to the right facility, and I don't see enough places doing that.
Very interesting that you say that, because I believe that there are certain, criterias and certain modalities that you offer that maybe somebody else, offers something a little bit different, and it's going to fit for somebody. This isn't like a one-size-fit-all. This isn't a cookie-cutter approach. Not at all. This is individualized.
It can be. Well, and what else I see too, I'm very adamant that if someone has went to my center and God forbid they relapse, and I take them back again, I will not take anyone more than 2 times. If it's not working, I need to refer you out. That is the ethical thing and the right thing to do. And I see some of these treatment centers taking people 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That's wrong. That should not be allowed to happen.
Amazing
stuff, I could tear everything apart. There's some great places out there, but it's a matter of having the right people doing the right things for the right reasons. And I've made mistakes bringing on people that, thought was a year and a half sober. And, if you're not at least a minimum 2 years sober, you're not even going to consider volunteering for my foundation. I mean, I'm dealing with people in their worst situation, and you got to have people that are grounded in recovery that know what the heck they're doing. Because I'm not a clinician. It's my job to get you to talk to our people, to talk to the clinical team to make sure you're the right fit. And I see people doing what I do, trying to assess people. Man, that's not my job. I can't do that. Yeah. So that's kind of what I do. Yeah, but the phones, today alone, I think my foundation is paying for 6 people to get into sober homes.
Beautiful, man. See, that's where it's at. That's, it's about carrying it forward and pushing it forward. So that person that, you're helping could end up coming out and potentially helping thousands. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, man.
I had a gentleman put a post on Facebook today with a copy of my Man in Recovery business card, and he was destitute. He lived in Elgin, Illinois. I sent him to a facility I use in South Carolina called Oaks Recovery, and they're a big book boot camp. And he's like, Tim, without you, I wouldn't be here, and you saved my life. I said, I didn't save your life. I just gave you the opportunity to go to the right place to save your own life. You put in the work. I just got you there. So I'm a concierge. I guide and direct people into the right places.
So in closing, because we're coming up at the end of the segment, and what I wanted to be able to do is talk a little bit about the upcoming event. Transformation Treatment Center is one of the sponsors of the event, and of course you're going to be one of the speakers at the event, and that is November, of course, 11th, right here in Pompano Beach, and come on out at the 101 Club. But give us a little bit of background on, because you guys do a lot of support of events. I mean, you guys support a lot of community stuff, and that's great, man. Why do you think it's important for you guys to be in touch with the community so deep?
You have to be in touch with the community, because without the community, you don't exist. And I see a lot of businesses that flourish in a community and they don't do anything to give back. I was actually in Delray last Saturday, and I was supposed to be speaking to a huge youth group down there that had nothing to do with the treatment space. And they said, hey, will you come? And I booked the flights and got down there. And after the flights were booked, they said, well, we've got to reschedule it due to the hurricane, but you got to give back to the community. You've got to support organizations like yours and the 101 Club, because without these clubs and these organizations, recovery's dead in the water. And it's not just recovery. There's other things you have to do to give back, because just as this program I live by, I have to give away freely what was so given to me. And it's truly an honor to be able to be asked to come down and be a part of this event. I can remember 2 years ago I was in Florida when the event was going on. I'm like, man, would it be awesome to be there? And here I'm there. So thank you, higher power, and thank you, John. Man, I'm stoked to be part of this.
It's funny that you brought up because here's one of the things that we run into, and we've ran into it. Listen, we've been doing this for a long time. This is number 29 we're going on that you're going to be at. You know what I mean? And one of the things that has happened across the country is that if you do an event like this, I'll give you an example. You go and you raise money for the 101 Club. Everybody across the board in the 12-step community starts to say, well, you're breaking anonymity. You can't do that. You can't do outside things. This is not the 101 Club is a corporation, a nonprofit corporation that 12-step meetings literally rent from the 101 Club. So when you're doing an event like this, you're supporting the 101 Club, the nonprofit business. You're not doing this for any 12-step organizations. You're doing it for the nonprofit so they can continue to house 12-step meetings. Now, here's one of the things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You're absolutely right.
And one of the things that has really started to happen, and it's kind of scary, is that you have places like the 101 Club that's been around for 40 years, man. And you have a lot of treatment centers that bring their clients there. And, they go to meetings and, they could have, Tim, sometimes, the vans pull up and there's 60, 70 people in a meeting. And when everybody clears out, they got $3 in the basket. And why? Because they're not teaching the folks, or the centers aren't bringing a check with them for the amount of people that they have. Whatever it is, it's scary, because everybody needs to understand dropping $1 or $2 in a basket is really what keeps the doors open for the meeting and the meeting place. But if they're not doing that, you have to have fundraisers. And then if you have fundraisers, you got everybody complaining.
The damn thing is you're never going to make anyone happy, and I absolutely agree with you. I mean, even if you bring in 40 people and 20 of them are drinking coffee for free, everything adds up. bills, rent. I was on the board of directors of the West Suburban Fellowship Club up here in Naperville, Illinois, where I live, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's a lot of work to keep the doors of the club open so these other anonymous meetings can rent, and each meeting pays their $25 rent or whatever. It's difficult. Even with, like, my foundation, I put some new people on my board, and I had a gentleman look me right in the eyes who's with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he said, Tim, you're doing fundraisers. He said, for you, with what you're doing, you got to go after private donors. That's where you're going to get your money, and you got to streamline specifically what you're doing, because you can't do everything to everyone, and you can't help everyone. And I want to be that guy that can, but to answer your question, we have to support clubs. We have to do things like this. This has nothing to do with anonymity. Anonymity would be, hey, you know what? John, did you see Fred so-and-so at the meeting? I just ran into him at the restaurant. Did you know he's in recovery? That's breaking someone's anonymity. I'll break mine all day long. I am Tim Ryan, a grateful recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and it's as simple as that. I want more people coming out and dropping the mask and saying, hey, I'm in long-term recovery. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a plumber, I'm a janitor, I'm homeless, whatever, because everyone's hiding, and I don't know.
Well,
I might have to
rewrite a book. It goes a step further. I'm glad you said that, too, because here's the reality. If I say to anybody, hey, I'm John Hollis, and I'm in recovery, you know something? That doesn't tell you what 12-step organization I'm in, and it doesn't break any traditions whatsoever. If I went on a level of press, radio, and film and said, I belong to this A program or that A program or this A program, then, there's a conflict with the traditions. When I start to say to somebody, hey, listen, I'm John Hollis, I'm in recovery, and you know something, I belong to a 12-step organization. You don't know which one, and you know something, you're not going to know which one. The bottom line is...
And I keep it simple as that. Yep.
So I think that overall the problem that we're, and here's the issue. When we go into this thing on the 11th, the 10th and the 11th, because we're doing a meet and greet the night before and then the event the next day. So when we go into this thing, Rockers in Recovery, the way it works is real simple. Rockers in Recovery is actually putting on the event and absorbing all of the costs through sponsorships of us producing the event for the 101 Club. So that means that any money made there going through the gate is 100% theirs. Because how can a 101 Club effectively, spend a couple of $1,000 or $30,000 or $5,000, whatever it is, to put a production on and then expect to make money at $10 a head? They're not going to do it. So
it's difficult. It's difficult.
Correct. So Rockers in Recovery is absorbing the cost, so that way all the food, everything that they're making at the gate, 100% of the funds are going to the 101 Club, and we're absorbing the cost. Of course, through sponsors like, Transformation Treatment Centers and other folks that are helping Rockers in Recovery put the event on. So that's how it works. I mean, this isn't like rocket science. And people like to confuse a lot of stuff. But I'm really stoked about you coming, and I love your message. And I look forward to, having you a part of, the Rockers in Recovery event, not just now, but other things that we have planned, because I know that you're a genuine human being that really wants to help people.
I am, and there is no hidden agenda. There's no message. I'm sick and tired of burying people, and it was really surreal. After our son passed away, about 2 weeks later, my former wife, she sat down and she looked me right in the eyes, and she said, Tim, for once I'm behind you 1,000%. She said, go run your foundation, go help people. She said, I want no mother going what I went through. Heroin and alcohol took you, my husband. It took our beautiful home and our firstborn child, and I've never looked back. And, it was God's calling. I lived God's will and my son Nick's will to the best of my ability every day, and was given an opportunity to carry a message of hope. And hopefully people don't have to go through the depths of hell I went through to get clean and sober. Recovery rocks. Sobriety does not suck. And I look forward to seeing you very soon, my brother.
You too, my man. And listen, give a shout out to where people can find you.
People can find me if you're interested in Transformations Treatment Center. It's transformationstreatment.center. You can reach me directly at 888-677-1646. If you're interested in a Man in Recovery Foundation, it is www.amirfank.org. You can follow me on Instagram, From Dope to Hope, Facebook, From Dope to Hope, Man in Recovery. And if you're interested in having me come speak at a school, community event, you can go to booktimryan.com. And here's the other interesting thing people don't know. All my speaking events I get paid for, I take every dollar, I put it in my foundation, and I give every dollar away. I do not take a salary from a Man in Recovery Foundation, and every speaking event I get paid for, I give every dollar away to help indigent people get into treatment or help people get into sober homes. That's what I do.
You rock, brother.
You do too. Keep doing what you're doing, and I will see you very soon, okay?
You bet, man. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, John. We'll see you soon, my brother.
Okay, man. Talk.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Tim Ryan. Gotta love Tim. Very exciting guy. And just a bundle of great love for all. And I want to thank him for being on the show tonight. I want to thank Transformations Treatment Center for being a part of this upcoming event to make it happen, because it's sponsors like them that help us to put the show on, so that way it doesn't cost 101 or any other organization that we work with $1. That way they can get healthy, keep the doors open for guys like me. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. If you want to give me a call at any time, you can call me at 786-488-6984. You can also reach me at john@rockersinrecovery.com, and you can check us out at rockersinrecovery.com. You got a little message going out the door with Tim.
Hey, Tim Ryan here with the Man in Recovery Foundation. Just got in from Arkansas. Want to let you know, Rockers in Recovery is having a big event November 11th at the 101 Club in Pompano Beach, Florida. Going to have a ton of music, fellowship. I have the opportunity to come down. I get to speak, share a little bit of hope. Really excited about this event. So if you are in the Florida area, Palm Beach down to Miami, Lake Worth, whatever, head to the 101 Club. Starts at 2 in the afternoon, $10 entrance fee. Come on in, share some fellowship. Again, I will be speaking there. Really honored to be able to come in and be a part of this. If you want to follow me, you can check us out on Facebook, From Dope to Hope, or check out our foundation, www.amirf.org, or for my full-time career, I'm a National Outreach Director for Transformations Treatment Center out of Delray Beach. We will also be a sponsor for this event. Look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Listen, check it out. Matt Wilkoff from the Wilkoff Project. We're going to play one from Matt on the way out the door. And, of course, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Much love to everybody.
When I was dying